We're back, gang, firing on all cylinders this week. Today, we've got the ground loot tier list for Season 3 Cold War. If you missed it Tuesday, check out my attachments video to get the build of each ground loot weapon from this season. Won't go into as much detail today on each gun as I did in that video. If you like the content, please support the channel by hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel. The goal is 50 likes on this video, and we're trying to hit 200 subscribers by this season. We got a lot to get into, so let's get into it. All right, so starting pistol this season is the 1911. So obviously the 1911 is in 1911 or this. The epic version is slightly better, has an AGC suppressor. The epic one does a larger mag at 14 rounds. So I think this is C tier. So actually I like the rare one over the epic because this one's gonna give you that flashlight. I'd rather not do that, especially in close quarters. The uncommon has the large mag, so it's better than the common version. This epic AK, so this one's got the 4x scope, is quite challenging to control with either the 3x or 4x. If you can control it, it's obviously got a really good TTK if you're hitting your shots. I think it's B tier. It's gonna be low B tier, but the rare I actually will take over the epic one because it's 3x'd, and I think it's easier to control than this epic one. The uncommon is 3x. These both have a longer barrel of VDV reinforced, so that helps with range and bullet velocity. So that's why I'm taking it over the uncommon. This AUG, the listed legendary, has a Hangman RF. So if you don't know, that's a 6x scope. Initially, I had it pretty low. I was like, are you kidding me? A 6x Cold War scope on this AUG. It's actually not that bad. I think it's workable, and I actually was doing all right in plunder with it. So I think it's B tier, and we'll see as we get into the season how that handles. All right, what's next? This AUG is a 4x, so I think this is a bit easier, a little more versatile than the 6x because you're stuck with that 6x. So I've got this AUG in A. All right, you guys know, if you know this, if you've watched this channel, how much I love the M82. I know for some of you this may be B, A, B, but for me it's S tier. It's got the shroud, so it's got positional concealment, which is newer for this season. It means you're on it'll blink on the radar for like half a second, and so it's long range. Half a second you shouldn't really be detectable. Range wise, yes, it's limited. This version has an extended barrel, so I think you could 150 meters is probably pushing it, but you could probably make it work out to there. I've been having a lot of fun with it. M82 is my favorite gun in this game. So for me, it's S tier. We'll see how Reddit reacts. The Brutalizer, also an S tier gun. The Streetsweeper, if you haven't realized by now, is a pretty disgusting ground loot weapon. And the Brutalizer just has 18 rounds. So it's just, especially in trios and quads, gonna do really good. The Bullfrog, 50 rounds, basically the attachments don't help too much. So yeah, but it's still a Bullfrog, still really good. I've got it A tier right now. We'll see where as we go along. Sigma, it's still B tier for me. In a pinch, you can down somebody. I like to grab these, especially when I just have dropped. But there's so many usable guns this season. It's the bottom of B. All right, this counteroffer, really good. It's not agency suppressed, but it's got the KGB eliminator, which is a SOCOM eliminator. So it's got that positional concealment. It's got the Spetsnaz barrel, which is, one of the meta barrels. Got the Spetsnaz speed grip, one of the good grips, and it's got the Raider stock, which gives you that crazy movement, and it's got 45 rounds. Of course, I wish it would have 60 rounds. 45 with the movement. This is top. Definitely in the conversation for best of the season. I think it's going to come down to what you prefer. There's a really good FFAR. There's a really good XM4. So we're going to see where that stacks with those two. All right, this dead bit, it's not the same as last season's dead bit. It's got a grease suppressor. It's got iron sights now. It's basically like the uncommon RPD. I would take it over an uncommon RPD. Both the rare and epic versions have a better barrel. This one has a 16.5 division. I think I'm taking the other two over this, but right now it's in A. It's suppressed RPD, very accurate, good out to 60, 70 meters, really good gun. Okay, this Diamatti has 30 rounds. I'm tempted A or B. It's, as a PC player, pistol, the only pistol I love is this Psychop. That thing is ridiculous because it's basically an SMG. Yeah, it's B. I know for some of you it might be A or S, especially console players that aim assist really helps, or controller players. This one is below because it's got the designator, which does give you that light. So I prefer to be a little more discreet. This Farah, the common Farah. I know in my attachment video I was like, ooh, this season's FFAR. It's not as good as the FFAR. There may not be a ground loot as commonly available and as good as that FFAR from last season, because the Farah doesn't have the ADS that the ground loot FFAR from last season had. Now that the FFAR has been nerfed, the ADS changed, but the ADS is a bit slower. Yeah, it doesn't have the fire rate, so it's not as forgiving as, I think the FFAR at 900 RPM is a really good spot between forgiving, but yet having a fast TTK. But yet not being so out of control like I think the Mag 10 is. Like, I think the Mag 10 is like the new Fennec right now. The FFAR is kind of a balance. The Farah is a little slow. It's solid. It's definitely good. I think it's a top B tier gun, but it's not as good as the FFAR from last season. The epic version has the Raider stock, so that definitely helps, but I'm a little cautious going crazy with the strafing because you only got 30 rounds. You're making it harder for them to hit you, but it's harder for you to hit them. And 30 rounds can go like that, and you haven't downed them. Same thing with the rare. It's basically the epic. It also has the Raider stock, so it's better than the common. This one doesn't have the Raider stock, but it does have the Spetsnaz. So all three of these have the Spetsnaz, have better range than the common one. These two have the Raider stock, so that's why they're above, and they're all upper B. All right, the fast leak. This is where it's gonna come down to preference. I prefer the FFAR right now. I think, as I laid out before, it's more forgiving than the Farah. It has 5 more rounds, basically a wash. Yes, the ADS is slow, but I'm taking the FFAR at this point above the counteroffer. This Gallo, the Gallos are very good. This one has 12 rounds. 12 rounds is still not super enough for a Gallo. I feel it really needs to get more rounds. Duos or solos, this thing is maybe up here possibly, but for trios and quads it's a little bit lacking in terms of rounds. Kind of tempted to put the Streetsweeper over because it has 18 rounds, but I think the Gallo is faster firing and better reload, so I'm gonna pick it over the Streetsweeper, and silenced. This Stoner, really good. I love the Stoner. Stoner was an amazing ground loot weapon last season. This one's got an optic, a Hawksmoor, so that really helps. It's got the SOCOM, so it's got positional concealment. Really, really good. Honestly, I'm taking an MP2 over it though, just because that's me. But I think for the general populace, this is gonna be the better option. This is just a 9-round version of this one. Okay, so this one is positional concealment. It's got a SOCOM. This one's an agency. So if you really want to be totally off the map, then go with these ones. If you want more rounds and kind of off the map, I'm still going with the more rounds, I think. This gilded Hauer, I don't hate. I think you can have moments with it. I think it can You gotta, you know, ADS, make sure the bullet spread is tight. But yeah, it's just a gun. I would take it over these 1911 pistols just for the firepower. This one's got a bigger mag, I mean, 65 round speed mag. So more rounds, better than that. But I'm still, oh, do I take the bullfrogs? I am gonna take the bullfrogs over the Streetsweeper because of versatility. Really, I should. These are silent. That's why I'm taking that over the bullfrog. These are not silent. The M82 over the Gallo. For me, yeah. I know for everyone else, no. But yeah, I'm taking the M82 over the Gallo. You guys can kill me if you want. This Hauer just behind the other Hauer. This hitch, I wouldn't take it over the 14 round 1911, but I would take it over the base, so I would pick it up. It's been heavily featured in the Gulag, so you gotta kind of use it like that. You gotta kind of like pop a shot, pull back, like take your time with it. It's still not great. It's yeah, but it's got 12 rounds, so it's better than the base pistol. The LC10, I'm liking the LC10. I know in my video attachment I kind of was like, oh, I don't know. I'm kind of feeling like it's a hybrid between an SMG and AR. It's got the same basically fire rate and damage profile up until, you know, 30-40 meters as the Farah, and everyone loves Farah, but this one has like 100 millisecond better ADS. So yeah, it's not suppressed, but it feels like a beam. It feels really good. I'm gonna try to XP up a loadout version, but the grounded version I really like, and this one has 45 rounds, so that's really solid enough. Should get 2 people, maybe 3 if you're, you know, hitting everything, but 2. Not as still the mag capacity and the bullfrog, and it's a little better up close. I'm going bullfrog, but LC10 really good option. I totally ignored it last season, but they did buff it for this season, so maybe that's why I'm liking it better. The rare version, oh wait, no, this is A, never mind. I got this mixed up. This is A tier, and I'm taking it over the AUG for now. Yeah, definitely, yeah, over those things. The uncommon is, these are basically the same. The rare has a muzzle brake and foregrip, but they both have extended barrel. So it helps make it more snappy, right? Because it's got more bullet velocity. All right, this Epic M16, really good. It's silenced. Not having a scope really limits it. I mean, the M16 is not really great up close. It's great up far, but you don't have a scope. So it kind of keeps it in the mid-range. It's going to be good depending on how good your eyesight is. But it's still silent, and it's still got that efficient ammo. I'm putting it at the top of A. This M60 is, yeah, C tier. Yeah, I'm taking it. I'm taking a pistol over it. Yeah, just because maneuverability. I feel like I could run around someone that has an M60. The Epics, you know, it just doesn't really even matter. Like, they're just slightly better. This, that, they're all crap. They're all just a gun. Heck, you might even take this 1911 over it. No, because these just are silent. These are both loud. So I'm taking the M60 over this for now. The M82, the basic difference is just this has slightly better bullet velocity, but the rest of the attachments are the same. So both are really good. Just a little more range with the big game hunter. The Mac 10. Well, let's talk about the Mac 10. 2 seasons ago, the Mac 10 was the best ground weapon. It had 53 rounds, wasn't even silenced. This is suppressed. This is agency suppressed. It is not, it is A. Because the Mac 10 got nerfed. Before, when it had the damage it had the RPMs that it had, there was some leeway if you missed and it deleted. Now, if you miss, and this one only has 43 rounds, you miss 43 rounds on this gun is almost like 30. It's basically the new Fennec to me. I know console players with, or controller players with aim assist, maybe this is higher for you guys, but for me, I don't know how many times I'll go in, I got a Mac 10 thinking I'm gonna just destroy this guy. I just miss like those first couple shots, and then they know, and then they start moving, and I just keep missing, and then I haven't even downed them. I've gone through an entire clip, they're not downed. So for me, the Mac 10 is almost an avoid. I think they're just more consistent guns, and I'm not the most aggressive player. Usually when I'm engaging, I have the jump on somebody, and I just need a gun to get the job done, especially ground loot wise. And the MAC-10 scares me. It's like if I don't hit the shots, I might not get the down. So it's A, but for me, I'm honestly probably avoiding it more times than not because I just think they're more consistent guns. This rare MAC-10 I haven't actually found. I've only seen it in a stream. I don't know what attachments have, but I think it's the same, but without the larger mag capacity. So for me, these same region but lower, because honestly 30-43, it's not a huge difference for the MAC-10 because you just fire so fast and it's gone. This magnums are still don't bother, and that's not changing. This paperweight, I'm putting it behind the rare because again it has a light. So these two have a light, this one doesn't, so that's why it's there. This Pellington, okay, I really like the Pellington. I'm adjusting on the fly here, guys. I almost feel like it's the new old growth. I know people don't love the Pellington. Am I taking an LC? Honestly, I'm taking it over M16, but I'm not gonna go that far. I think I'm gonna put it here. I honestly would take it over an M16. I'm not the biggest burst weapon aficionado, and I think having to iron sight with this does limit it. But I'll respect that some of you really do well with the burst fire. This Pellington doesn't have an extended or any type of barrel, but I don't know. It's like that 4x scope, which I use on the M82. I can hit 140 meters. I've hit it in plunder. It's really good. It's really good. It's snappy. It's silenced. It's got a great scope. It's really good. The Thumper seems like some of you can really do work with it, so I wouldn't take it over Sigma, but it's in line. It's gonna one down if you hit it. This one is basically the same, similar, although they're both silenced. This one has a better fire rate, better grip, 45 rounds, so this is definitely superior to the Epic. So yeah, no scope though, both are iron sighted. PPSH is here. It's solid. It's like the Bison. Feels like it's kind of like a Bison, without the mag capacity. So it's not as good as a Bison, I guess. You know, it's an SMG. You'll probably get the down and need backup. That's the definition of that tier. This Epic, the Epic has a compensator, a long range barrel, and a grip. So this is definitely superior to this, more range. This Legendary has a huge mag. I think that does bump it up. Does it? I'm a little worried about its killing potential. Should I bring it down? Kind of thinking I should bring it down to here. I think I would take it over the LC10s because of that mag capacity. I'm gonna put it here for now. I've seen people work it well. So this is still just down here. Yeah, the mag capacity definitely brings it up a tier and makes it so that, you know, just spray them down. Yeah, that's like that. And this RPD is better because of the better barrel than the Legendary. Same with this one. And then this one is just as same as last season, just suppressed. They're all really, you know, RPD is really good. It's really good option. Wouldn't be sad if I had one. This RPG, still taking the Sigma. Slow Death, the most self-aware gun name in the history of Warzone, as this does bring either slow death to your opponent or slow death to you. This space probe is 60 rounds 4x, so it's better than the Epic, but I still take the 3x rare because I think it's easier to handle. We'll see. Maybe by end of the season I'll have a hang of the 4x on this gun, but for now I think I'm going with the 3x. Am I? Oh, 60 rounds does help in lots of situations. Okay, no. We're gonna take the 60 rounds over. And you just gotta try to make it. Just like this AUG, you just gotta make it work with the scope. This stoner is basically the same. I think the main difference is stock difference. This one has no stock. So they're about the same. The common Streetsweeper is A tier for me. Yeah. I am taking over the LC10 just because it's just so dominant up close. But you could run both. They're not mutually exclusive. This LC10's got a bit more range than you'd expect, so I'd be fine running that. This epic is 15 rounds, so it is a S tier weapon. Just because of that mag. That 15 rounds I think is possibly the difference between 2 and 1 kills. The rare only has 12, so it's down here. This one also. They just have I believe a task force barrel, which I'm not sure does too much. Okay, so they put a 32 round fast mag on this. So it's dead better than the rare, but it's not better than the 43. But they're all, again, I'm not on the Mac right now. I've never really been a fan. Only those ground loot versions in season 1 did I like, because I don't really like the iron sights on the Mac. This has got the variable scope. It's basically you got one shot, and if you don't hit, move on. Because if you didn't know, the variable scopes are bugged. When you zoom in and then you crouch, you will zoom out. And so this means that your person better be standing still, you get the down, and that's that. Because you can't re-engage, especially if you're crouching. I guess if you want to slide to the side, maybe. We'll see. I'll admit I haven't used it much, but right now, because of that bug, I think it's down there. This has a SUSAT, so I think this is definitely in a better spot. I'd put it B tier for now. Again, this is a theory crafting because I have not played around much with this. I think I'm taking the AUG. I really did have a decent time with this AUG, even with the 6X. Here for now. Play around with it. Like in the past, the Pellington rose for me over time. This might as well. This LC10, it's just got a combat stock, so you're gonna move better. So yeah, this LC10, quite good. The Vex Lord. Ooh, I'm putting it over the Fast Leak. Who am I? This is a tough one. It's got 60 rounds. Now it's competitive for FAR XM4 in terms of TTK. I think the XM4 has a bit more range, but honestly, because it's iron sighted, it's not, you have to be careful. I think 60, 70 meters is max. So I think it's just got a little more versatility than this one. So I am putting it as number 1, but we'll see. All right, this XM4 is just behind the street. I'm taking this because it's silenced. Taking over the LC10 because it's silent. Same with the rare. Well, yeah, Streetsweeper is really dominant up close. But again, this is a great pair. XM4, Streetsweeper together. And finally, we have the Zealous Acolyte. And yeah, it's basically the same as the Epic. It's got an Ember sighting and a 9-round mag. So more shots to get off. Really good. Personally, I'm taking these over the M16. This Pellington's really good. But some of you I know might like the M16. Zoom out, get everyone. No. All right, well, you don't need to see the Magnum. These are Magnums. But yeah, this is the complete list. Okay, we'll zoom out like here. And you can see all the guns. That's it. Obviously going to be posting this on Reddit. Let me know in the comments what you think. What is your favorite? What is your not favorites? What are you finding? What are you using? We're going to have some great content coming out. Definitely going to start to make videos of some of these ground loot guns. The Vex Lord, the Fast Leak, the M82 I already got highlights for. So those are going to come out soon. We've got some really good gameplay that I did recently. The Psykov, I'm digging the Psykov secondary single auto. Had some crazy gameplay with that. The WZ ranked will come out eventually. I got some victories to put out, so we got a ton of content that's coming out. So stick around, subscribe, notifications, and hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it helpful. And we'll see you guys on the next one.